Welcome to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, CEO of Academia.edu, and I am so glad you could join me today. We're here, as always, to unpack big academic ideas and see what they might mean for you, for our society, or maybe just for your next dinner conversation. Who knows, right? Now, remember, my role on this show is to present research, not to endorse it. We're here to get curious together, not to crown the next absolute truth. So today's episode is all about a rather fascinating and honestly kind of mind-bending paper by Nicholas Wyatt, PhD, yes, the artist. The title, Capitalism and the Symptom of the Sublime, which, I don't know about you, sounds epic and also a little intimidating, doesn't it? Thankfully, we're going to break it down. No philosophy degree required, I promise. All right, what's the core question here? Basically, Wyatt's paper digs into this. Is the aesthetic concept of the sublime, think art that overwhelms us, things that are so massive or beautiful or intense that we're just, like, flawed, entangled with how capitalism functions? Does the sublime just stand opposed to society's obsession with wealth, or is it actually a symptom of capitalism itself? And, well, why should any of this matter to you? It matters because our tastes, our experiences of awe, the things that take our breath away, these are, in Wyatt's view, connected to the way we exchange things, value stuff, and yeah, even shop. Let's walk through the paper. Wyatt starts by building on ideas from Jean-François Lyotard, who noticed this odd overlap between the avant-garde, artists pushing boundaries, and the way capital, the system of buying and selling seems to soak up even the wildest, most out-there artistic gestures. It's a wild thought that the infinite ambition of capitalism to grow endlessly to create ever new novelties kind of mirrors the idea of the sublime. Like, wow, that's a lot to chew on. But Wyatt doesn't stop there. He dives into history, referencing big names like Kant and Burke, who tried to pin down the sublime. For them, the sublime is all about overwhelming forces, sometimes beautiful, sometimes terrifying. Take Kant's mathematical sublime, which is about the bigness or boundlessness of something. Picture standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon, or I guess scrolling endlessly online and losing track of time. Wyatt argues this feeling of boundlessness actually has a kind of parallel in the limitlessness that capitalism tries to pursue. Infinite growth, infinite consumption. Okay, so is that good or bad? Well, Wyatt's not giving a blacklist or a gold star here, he's just noticing the pattern. Next, he explores how these grand ideas play out in art. He starts with old-school comparisons, Caspar David Friedrich painting vast landscapes that made you feel tiny. Then he pivots to present-day big hitters, like Damien Hirst with his diamond-encrusted skull, and Jeff Koons with those gigantic balloon animals. Maybe you've seen these works and thought, what's the point? Wyatt suggests they literally embody this capitalist sublime crossover. These aren't just pretty objects, they're stuffed with surplus value, hyped up in the marketplace, and designed to overwhelm us. In a way, they almost become strange symbols for the endlessness, sometimes even emptiness, of capitalism's promises. Now, why does Wyatt think this matters? He says that every time capitalism goes through a crisis, or a big change, the sublime pops up in new forms. The art market, giant installations, or even the latest must-have gadget. These wow moments offer us relief, distraction, even a kind of spiritual insulation from capitalism's anxieties. Wyatt calls the sublime a symptom of capitalism, the wow factor that keeps us hooked, but also quietly signals that something's out of balance. But there's a twist. Wyatt doesn't think capitalism can ever totally own the sublime. There's always something a bit out of reach about the truly sublime, some deep subjective response that can't be turned into just another price tag. He even suggests that sometimes art's sublime moments resist being flattened into just more, stuff. They can still offer us ways to ask bigger, deeper questions. That, he says, is why the sublime can never be fully conquered or commodified by capitalism. So what does all this mean for you? Well, next time you stand in front of a work of art that overwhelms you, or maybe you're just awestruck by a sunset, or engulfed by a killer Netflix series, maybe take a second to ask, is this moment just another product? Or is it tapping into something deeper? Are we being wowed as consumers, or as people seeking real meaning? And, sorry to digress, but doesn't this make you wonder about the stuff we share on social media? Like, Is every inspirational photo just another symptom of our economic moment, or are we reaching for something bigger, more transcendent? All right, let's wrap up. Remember, this paper by Nicholas Wyatt doesn't claim to have the last word. It offers a lens, one way to reflect on art, capitalism, and our search for awe in a noisy, sometimes overwhelming world. I'm not here to say he's right or wrong, just present the ideas and encourage you to think. Thank you so much for joining In Depth with Academia. If you enjoyed today's episode, tell a friend, share your thoughts, and as always, keep questioning. Nothing in academia is settled truth. Until next time, I'm Richard Price, signing off.